All right, guys. Let's see if we can get through the rest of these tonight. Be nice. Okay. Nebula, go lay down. I did not want sheep. Alrighty. We'll hold this up. Make that the front of the video. Alright, this is by Janet Garment. I didn't want chickens either. I had previously sworn off pulling. Knock your trap off. Nebula! I'd previously sworn off poultry, and yet here I was, staring at my first dozen chicks. I kept telling myself that I knew better than to step into any arena unprepared. But this was my situation. No coop, no chicken run, basically no idea. I didn't even do that. Didn't know there was a hole in the back of it, but yeah. Okay. Fast forward. Another animal arrives that I had previously said I did not want to raise. Yes, sheep. For a variety of reasons, I had chosen fiber goats to supply our raw fiber. Mohair and cashmere are beautiful fibers. Nebula, you better quit. Quit! Sorry, guys. She does this every time. She was quiet as a mouse until Mandy came back, and then Mandy left, and she had to take Chloe her keys, and now Nebula's being dumb. Alright. Mohair and cashmere are beautiful fibers. For many years, we followed this path, and the yarn sold well. Still, the question remained, why not sheep? First, I thought we would have to have substantial pastures to include sheep on our farm. I'm going to pause this for a minute. Okay. While we had some, our farm is mostly woodland and is in a forestry program. Nebula! That's enough! Hang on, guys. I'm not going to get through this if I have to keep pausing this. Sorry, guys. Okay. I'm also tired, so yeah, bear with me. Well, we've always fed hay primarily, and it didn't occur to me that hay was just dried grasses. Duh. Second, my version of sheep tended to see open ranges and grassland for miles. I could not picture how sheep would fit in here. I want to add this background. I was formally trained in animal sciences at a large university in the 1970s. That era was entirely committed to big agriculture, and the universities were training us to go forth and produce more food at better costs. I'm getting tired now. I knew then that something wasn't sitting right with what I was being told. No one spoke about the movement that would make a huge impact on my life in a few years. The third reason that I hesitated to bring in sheep was the old adage that sheep spend their lives trying to die. Who in their right mind would want to take on an animal that has so much trouble staying healthy? In reality, none of these arguments were true for the small flock shepherd. If you're feeding hay to goats, you can also feed hay to sheep. Grain ration, if used, should be species specific to ensure the sheep and goats are receiving the proper balance of minerals. Sheep will also play an important part in regenerating any pastures or grassy paddocks you have on your property. Once you learn the basic principles of regenerative agriculture, pasture rotation, and managing the growth of forage, you will be able to branch into grazing in addition to feeding hay when necessary. And I would rather go with the whole foraging like we talked about in the other video. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen, and sheep play a vital role in bringing health back to the land. Sheep arrive on the farm. A nearby farm reached out looking for a home for lambs. A ram had accidentally bred all the ewes, and and overpopulation had occurred. I had a weak moment and agreed to take 3 lambs. Sadly, one died the first week. See, I told you they wake up trying to die. The truth was actually much deeper. The previous owner had many more problems with too many lambs. The sheep were loaded with parasites. Not only did I now have sheep, but I also had very sick sheep. Fast forward past years of learning, observing, finding mentors, readjusting the fields, readjusting gates, barns, and my thoughts. Guess what we were predominantly left with on our farm? Sheep and chickens. As the horse, cattle, and pig years ended, a new priority was taking shape. A dream that started with fiber goats was growing with woolly sheep. New systems were built, starting with fencing and gates that allowed me to work the sheep by myself. Once we had the proper infrastructure, fencing around the fields was added, allowing the sheep to begin the restoration of grass pastures. Fields that had been compacted by beef cattle and then rooted up by hogs began turning green with perennial grasses. Sheep have definitely added more than poop to the land. Along the way, they worked their way into my very being. I observed them each day and spent time just sitting with them while they grazed. I found a gentleness in farming that had been waiting to be uncovered. Instead of handling the sheep by force, I worked on methods that convinced them that everything would be okay. Basically, I limit their options and remain calm. I didn't know it was possible for me to be this patient and calm. Observing the flock closely allows me to see when one isn't acting quite right. I can understand where the misconception about sheep dying easily came to be. Yes, they can go downhill with illness suddenly. And I've lost a few, even though I've tried to stay aware, but largely developing a keen sense of what looks okay and what doesn't will help keep your sheep healthy. Of all the different things we've brought to the farm, sheep have done the most for my personal growth. Becoming a shepherd will result in more than mountains of fluffy fleece each spring. You will find patience, adaptability, and resourcefulness along the way. Your heart will break with the losses and soar when you successfully fight off a parasite load or heal an injury. When a sheep trusts you enough to allow kisses and ear scratches, you will smile from the heart. Catching that rowdy, scared lamb and feeling him relax under your hands, giving injections followed by cookies, and helping a ewe deliver her lambs, so many moments. But the best of all is seeing the flock learn to trust me. It's in their eyes, and it's a beautiful experience. Yes, I do want sheep after all. And this was Janet Garman, is a homesteader and farmer, wife, mother, grandmother, blogger, and author from Timber Creek Farm in Maryland. In addition to farming and actively working alongside her family in the family sawmill business, she is passionate about the wool industry and teaches workshops on using natural plant dyes. And there's the other picture. And I will get this up there, and I will see you guys on the next video in a little bit. Next one is Let Food Be Good Medicine. This one's a good one. I will see you guys in a bit. Bye, guys.